What is up, guys? We are back with another video today. We're actually, as you can tell, wearing the same thing, so it's a multiple part video. But we just unveiled these wheels, and she is sitting nice and pretty. Now, the issue is, and you can see the jack is lined up, the issue is, and my car has always had this issue, is you see that front wheel up there, how the top is completely tilted in. It is bad. And if, for an example here, if we look at Nick's car, I know this is gonna be hard to pick up on video, but see how his sits a little bit straighter?
You can really see it from up front at this angle.
We'll poke up here, see.
As you can see, the tire almost looks completely straight, but it's barely poking in.
Yeah. That is true. You can see it really good from this angle. So that is what we're going to try to do. Now, this angle on my car isn't going to be as good because I have these side canards that kind of stick out and block half of your view. But you might be able to get it from the side. You can really see how the top tilts in. That camber is definitely off. So what we're going to try to do is, instead of getting caster camber plates right out of the gate, if we don't have to, we're going to try these Eibach bolts and see what we can do. All right, so Nick, being a mechanic, he knows how to explain what we're going to be doing a little bit more. So I'm going to let him take control, kind of explain this.
So these are from Eibach, and they're basically referred to as cam bolts, I believe. And basically what they do is they basically just push out that camber, essentially. And a lot of factory vehicles come with these. Maybe not this exact design, but it does the same dang thing. So if I crack these open for you real quick. Okay, so I got it out of the bag. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. You see how it almost looks like a cam lobe? So basically when that turns on the thicker end, that would be pushing the wheel out. Now, I'm not sure how many degrees of camber that it's gonna help you, but that's why we're here to do this. We're gonna find out what's going on. So Andy's over here checking out the car at all the proper angles, you know. So we're gonna...
This is the only angle you can see that it's on skinnies.
Yeah. So we're gonna get these bolts put in it, and we'll bring you guys right back on. All right, guys, we're back. We got the car jacked up, put on a jack stand and the jack there to give us another safety. We got our socket that's stuck in the impact. No, you do it. I'm tired, bud.
Guess I don't want you scratching.
Oh, come on, man. You know I didn't do that on purpose. All right, guys, we're back. So as you can see, we got the wheel off. Now the bolts that these cam bolts are going to replace are going to be these guys here, because typically, like you see here, we got our McPherson strut here, and basically those bolts aren't adjustable from the factory. So basically what'll happen is when you spin that bolt with that cam little gear looking thing on it, it's gonna push this out, and it should, oh, we got light, and, and it should fix this the problem here. So how much degrees that will fix, zero idea.
I don't know. It might not be enough.
Yeah,
we might actually need to do caster camber plates.
Yeah, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, considering these are like $30-something compared to caster camber plates.
Several $100s.
Which, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say several hundred.
Well, I guess it depends on the brand,
but
I suppose,
they're definitely not, they're not cheap. I mean,
yeah.
I think with the BMR ones I was looking at, they were like 180, 200 bucks.
Gotcha.
But still, if I don't have to buy those.
For sure. I mean, you've spent a lot of money on this car this year, this month even. Headlights, taillights,
fuck ton,
exhaust, wheels, tires.
Fuck ton.
But
fuck ton.
We're gonna get these bolts pulled out, and we're gonna see what they do. All right, guys, so you're gonna grab yourself a breaker bar with a 24 to get this nut off, which came off of there, and then there's another one right below it. Now, these bolts are splined, so you're gonna get yourself a big ass hammer and knock that out. The bottom one you don't really need to take out completely, because I believe you're only replacing the top one. And then once we get it all in there and installed, I'll show like
how you want to have it set up, and then we'll show it actually working, and so you can see the knuckle pushing in and out. So let me get this kind of set up and we'll be right back with you. So keep in mind, it's gonna take some chooch to get that thing to come out.
And I recommend...
This was the spline I was talking about. See that, Andy?
Yep.
That's the spline.
I recommend a 4-pound hammer.
Or an air hammer if you have it.
That too.
But yep, we got the top one out. You can kind of see the splines in the actual McPherson strut. Now we're just gonna take that bottom nut loose and then try to pop it out, not all the way, just so the splines aren't touching, so it'll be adjustable. Which actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you need to do that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see. Let me figure this out, and we'll be right back.
Okay guys, we got this all figured out now. Ignore the race car / motorcycle noises in the background.
ATV.
ATV. I can hear him ripping on it.
Come ripping down the street.
But we figured out how it works. So
it's kind of a pain.
Basically, you're gonna have your nut here with the bolt in it, and then there's gonna be this spacer here with the nipples facing the nut, essentially facing that way. And then obviously you have your end of the bolt with the washer that basically touches here to when you're tightening it. Now, if I could show you real quick wherever the ratchet just went. Oh,
somewhere.
So if you keep an eye on the spindle right here, you can kind of see. Now this isn't like an end-all be-all by any means, but you can see right now I'm putting negative camber into it. It pulls it in, and then now we're pulling back the other way. See that? And then it kind of stops. Now at this point, since if you look at the factory bolt right here, this is a lot thicker than the bolt that you're putting in it. So that's what gave me the idea. Grab yourself a pry bar, and you're gonna stick that in there. You see all that extra room I just gave it? So put that down there and give her a tighten, and I think that will actually give you quite a few degrees. You're up to, I think it said it was up to close to 2 degrees.
Maybe,
possibly.
Which I have no idea degree wise,
I mean,
like how much that's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys saw what it looked like before. It might be a little bit harder to see in the dark now, but maybe we'll pull out the flashlight and you can see it a little bit. But I think it might actually make a difference. At first I was like, I kind of want to scrap this video because it doesn't seem like it's doing shit. But after I played with it a little bit, I think there's hope after all. So
doesn't seem like it's doing
turns out I thought you had to loosen the lower bolt, but you don't. Which is good because the caliper is in the way, as you can see.
There's no way to really get any sort of
apparatus or anything down there to loosen it, unless you take the caliper off. And I was like, wait a minute, do I need to do that? Am I just being stupid? Turns out I was being stupid. So we're gonna get this bolted up and throw the wheel back on and see how she looks.
Let's give her a shot.
Okay. All right, guys, well, we just lowered the car back down and we think it made a difference. Now, this side we haven't done yet. And get you a little closer. Not sure if you can even pick that up, and I apologize, it's so dark. So we got that. Versus that. I feel like that had to have done something. Unless it's just a placebo.
I don't know. I feel like it made a little bit of a difference, but again, up to 2 degrees.
Yeah.
2 degrees is probably only...
It needs a lot more than 2 degrees.
Yeah, it needs like 10 or 12 degrees, but then again, I'm not an expert with suspension.
And again, this isn't an end-all be-all by any means. This is more for the guy that put some lowering springs on his car. And you still have close to factory wheels and...
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I know we just put the wheels on, but it had this bad camber on every set of wheels this thing has ever had. So it's not these specific wheels because they're skinnies or whatever.
You just notice it more on these.
Yes.
And, well, this is where I drew the line and wanted to address it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up having to get caster camber plates, but a lot of people say when you combine both, it's even better.
Yeah.
Because it gets finer tuning adjustments.
Yep.
So probably going to be ordering some caster camber plates before Mustang week. That way we can kind of fix this issue once and for all. just be done
Mm-hmm.
and actually not have it be.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, caster camber plates, they there's a lot more that goes into them, and it's kind of a lot easier to adjust because basically at your shock tower under the hood, right, that's where all your adjustability is. So you would just loosen the nuts, and then you can adjust from there. It'll pull or push whatever way you need it to go from under the hood versus you're under the car like, fuck, I can't reach this bolt. So it'll be a lot easier. It's more user friendly, whereas this, you got to pull the wheel off and do all that stuff. But like you said, combined, it will definitely make a difference.
I
feel like that was somewhat noticeable of a difference, but it's so hard to tell. I mean, like you said, 2 degrees is not really that much.
No, and the body lines on this car make it really hard to actually see where, you know, it's hard to find the same angle on both sides to really look at it and see if there is any sort of, actually, it did make a difference. So what I'm looking at right now, and I'll tell you guys what I'm kind of using as a reference point, is I'm using the canard up here as my reference point to look at.
Gotcha.
So look, kind of gun sight it like you are normally. Look at it at the canard on that side, and then come over on this side.
Oh, for sure.
See how you're seeing a lot more of the canard on this side than you are on that side?
Yeah.
Not much.
Gotcha.
We're only talking maybe 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch, but it did make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's I started seeing that and I was like, wait a minute, am I tripping? No, it made a difference.
And like I said, the other thing that helps is because the factory bolt is thick, and that one not so much. So even after you adjust it to where you want, you can force it out just a tiny bit more. So
and here's somewhat of a reference.
You see how much thicker the one on the left is? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Makes a big difference considering this nut basically just goes straight over this.
I mean, that would be a better way to look at it. Literally, it just slides right over it.
Kinda. Kinda. It's a little.
It kind of grabs a little, but you heard it slide down.
But it's,
so.
I mean, there's a difference.
Yes.
Like, you can feel it.
For sure. So, yeah, that's basically what we still got to do the other side, but that's basically it. I mean, it's fairly simple to do. Anybody can figure it out. Obviously, you'll want to get an alignment after just to double check to make sure everything's good.
In our case, we're not.
No, because we need caster camber plates to really make it 100%. So, yeah, that's basically it. A quick little video for you guys.
Hopefully it helps somebody.
Hopefully it helps somebody out there, because I know we were trying to figure out how we were supposed to put all this stuff together, and we didn't really find much information on it.
And we wanted to find the workaround to caster camber plates if possible. And we thought, maybe.
It's worth a shot. They're like 30, 40 bucks. I mean,
yeah, 30, 40 bucks, it's worth a shot. I mean, and even then, like we said, now that we know we need to get caster camber plates, at least this adds a little bit of fine tuning to it.
For sure.
By doing it this way. So it could have been turned out better than we thought it was originally.
Yes.
As soon as we started getting into it, we're like, we wasted 35 bucks.
Yeah.
But it did make a little bit of a difference. It's just nothing that's crazy noticeable. Now, maybe in the daylight we'll notice it a little bit more than what we're seeing out here with the flashlight and all that, because if anybody knows flashlights create shadows.
Yeah.
So we're also seeing a lot of shadows. So maybe the little difference that we're seeing right now as well isn't actually there. It's just shadow effect, and it did nothing.
Again, this car is extremely modified at this point. So basically, you're gonna need caster camber plates, but like for instance, my car, right? Like we showed, it doesn't have that bad. But the reason for that is, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but you have lowering springs.
I do.
I have BMR drag springs. So it's not quite as low of a drop. Yeah, and I think it's due to the fact that it's such a low drop already with your lowering springs. So it's affecting the camber even more.
Yeah, because I forget which model they were. I think they're the BMR Performance springs, because they had the drag springs. Like, I want to say like Comfort or something, and then Performance. minor performance, and if I remember correctly, it's either an 1.5 inch drop or 2 inches in the front and then 0.5 in the rear.
I think it's
to really give it that rake.
I think it's 2 in the front
and 0.5 in the rear, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time.
Whereas mine, I think it's like maybe a little over an inch, if not an inch in the front, and then like a half in the back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it. I hope this helped somebody. We were just like, hey, it could be a goofy little video we can figure out, you know. Maybe it'll help somebody, maybe it won't. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. As always, we keep saying this, we're trying to get up there.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. And we'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
And we'll have better and better content. We're working on some things.
Maybe.
May or may not happen. We do not know. But
maybe.
We're working on some things. And stay tuned for it, because
it's going to keep coming.
For sure. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one.
Peace.